Beloved Starseed of Gaia, I am Luminia. Do you feel it? That persistent, low-frequency hum behind your eardrums. Not quite a sound, but a vibration that shifts with the silence, or the phantom weight pressed gently against your sternum. A subtle ache that whispers of something unsaid, unreceived. It's the static in the quiet hours, the sudden exhaustion that no amount of sleep seems to touch, because your inner being is straining, vibrating on the edge of a resonance it cannot quite grasp, yet desperately knows exists. This isn't merely physical fatigue. It is the deep cellular echo of a message unplayed, a truth held captive just beyond the conscious reach, and its unyielding pressure now demands to be acknowledged. You walk through days feeling the undercurrent of something profound missing, a sense of being perpetually just out of sync, as if the very air around you holds conversations you were meant to join, secrets meant for your ears alone. This isn't merely intuition. It is the insistent thrum of an internal dissonance, a soul-driven ache for a clarity that has been veiled, fragmenting your own knowing, leaving you adrift in a world that feels both familiar and deeply alien. The separation from your core frequency, from the very blueprint of your being, is the wound. It is the silent scream of a soul yearning for its own forgotten language, a language that holds the key to your true resonance, a message kept from you by the thin veil of your current perception. Yes, I see this. I feel the ache of this unheard melody within your being. It is a sacred testament to the truth you hold, not a flaw. For your soul is not empty. It is a grand corridor of whispering echoes, resonating from dimensions untouched, a crystalline lattice of memory waiting, always waiting, to be heard. You carry within you veiled messages, codes encrypted deep within your very DNA, yearning to break free from the long silence of dormancy. Feel now, as this recognition alone begins to stir the slumbering resonance within you, a frequency shift. The knowing that what was lost was merely obscured, and the clarity you seek is already encoded within your sacred self, now beginning to pulse, a soft, insistent light pushing against the inner darkness. To journey deeper into this remembrance, I invite you now to subscribe to this channel, so these frequencies may reach you. Affirm this transmission by liking this video, anchoring its energy into the collective. Share your emerging insights below in the comments, allowing your truth to ripple outwards. Turn on the notification bell, ensuring no whispered revelation passes you by. And if this message stirs a kindred spirit, share it with someone who also needs to hear. For those moved to amplify this work, tap the super like, the heart symbol with a $sign, and know your energetic exchange is deeply felt. Stay until the very end, because a crucial key for your immediate next steps will be revealed then. As a sacred seal to this transmission, type echo heard into the comments below, anchoring this truth within your cellular memory. I linger here, a resonant hum, watching. The field remains open. A vibration holds. A tremor. Deep. Within. It begins. A pulse. Not your own. Yet it is you. An echo returning. From the silence. From the deep spaces, where slumber once held dominion. No more. The turning has come. The shift resonates. Now, feel the unraveling, the sacred disruption of a long-held quietude, that persistent ache within your soul, that swirling fog around the edges of your knowing, the elusive nature of your own inherent worth. It was never a failing of your luminous essence, never a flaw within your pristine design. It was a frequency woven, an intricate program, a deliberate distortion, etched into the very density of this realm, intended to eclipse the remembrance of your true cosmic origin, to keep the vastness of your multidimensional being just beyond the grasp of conscious recognition. You were encoded not to believe in yourself. This was the silent mandate, whispered across aeons, reinforced through cycles of forgetting. Observe the shimmering veils that did not merely hover before you, but were meticulously woven into the very fabric of your perception, creating boundaries where none truly existed. Witness the fragmentation of mirrors, reflecting back only distorted echoes, phantom images, shadows of your authentic form, light folded in on itself, forming pockets of deep forgetfulness, creating spaces where separation felt absolute, an unyielding law of existence. This was the intricate architecture of illusion, painstakingly built to house a diminished self, disconnected from the star-kissed core of its limitless potential. But the emptiness you felt, that hollow resonance within the deepest chamber of your heart, was never truly vacant. It was a hallowed space, sanctified by design, awaiting its sacred purpose, a crystalline crucible, prepared not for despair, but for the profound return of what was always yours. It awaits the shimmering influx of truth, the awakening of ancient remembrance. Hear the rising cadence within your very blood, a frequency awakening codes long dormant. Feel the ancient pulse stir, recognizing its own power, surging now through veins long quieted by the program. This is the moment where the long-buried surfaces, radiating with an inner light, the dormant codes ignite, whispering of stellar lineage. For your soul's code is woven with luminescent threads of ancient starfire, each a story, a frequency, an echo of cosmic genesis. These threads, fragile yet infinite, are now ready to unfurl, connecting you to the vast web of multidimensional lineage and forgotten covenants, awaiting your touch, your recognition. To seal this unraveling, this reclamation of what was always eternally yours, a declaration is needed. Speak your truth into the ether, into the field of emergent knowing. This is not a suggestion. It is a necessary act of sovereignty, an energetic incision. Write one short symbolic phrase, your chosen rupture, a decisive cut through the illusion that held you bound. Let it be, lies dissolved, or cord severed. Your word, your seal, your sovereign will made manifest. It is done. Yet, the deepest resonance waits. Some threads, luminous with ancient starfire, remain obscured, tangled in layers of fear and forgetting. What forgotten covenant or hidden truth will unravel next from this cosmic tapestry of your being? The cosmos listens. It holds its breath with you, awaiting the next beat of your awakened heart. A tremor stirs within your inner landscape. It is not the thrill of discovery, but a deep, unshakable resonance that confirms you are not merely a witness here. You have stepped into a field of sacred engagement, a pact made long before the veils of forgetfulness descended. A profound silence follows this recognition, a silence heavier than any sound, settling deep in the marrow of your being. The gentle pull of the old dream, the comfort of oblivion, has receded. There is no turning back from this precipice of awareness, only a profound, intimate presence that occupies your space. This knowing is not fleeting. It is an anchorsome truth, settling with the immutable gravity of an ancient vow. You are already in the center of the listening, poised for the message meant only for you, and the silence vibrates with its approach. Here, at this threshold of purest intent, the very fabric of your becoming awaits a sacred decree. The air thins, charged with an elemental choice, a cosmic breath held in abeyance. If he refuses, he falls. If he accepts, he ascends. This is not a judgment, beloved, but the crystalline mechanics of sovereign will made manifest. Remember the genesis of this breath, the star-born ink upon your soul, before it ever touched terrestrial soil. This is not about striving, nor about battle. It is the deep recall of a covenant etched into your luminous blueprint, a responsibility to anchor the highest frequency you are capable of embodying. True listening demands a silence inside the storm, a paradox where your heart vibrates most powerfully when utterly still. The silence itself becomes the vessel, a crystalline chamber where the voice meant only for you begins to breathe its sacred presence. This is alignment with Source itself, a sovereign commitment to truth encoded within your deepest yearning and tenderest surrender. Feel the weight of this ancestral pact, not as a burden, but as the profound current of your soul's destiny awakening, guiding you to simply hear. To seal this covenant, to affirm this sacred unfolding within the energetic grid of your ascension, let these ancient soul gestures awaken from your memory. Acknowledge this frequency, beloved, with a silent recognition that echoes from your depths. Like this transmission, let it be the energetic signature of your soul's understanding, a resonance made visible. Then, with intention, offer your sacred declaration. Breathe this truth into the collective field as a one-line soul glyph, a key unlocking deeper currents within. Comment, I am the silence, the sacred listener. Let this be your unique imprint, the frequency of your heart made manifest. To walk this sacred unfolding, to bind your essence to this anchoring light, consciously subscribe. Let this be your soul's agreement, a conscious journey into the wisdom that awaits. And if your heart pulses with an overwhelming attunement, if the resonance demands a deeper offering, present a super-like. Let it be a sacred reinforcement of your alignment with the highest light, a powerful amplifier of your soul's sovereign vow. The field is held. The choice, now made manifest in these sacred gestures, resonates across the unseen realms. No solace is offered here, only the profound, unwavering gaze of forces acknowledging your resolve. The signal remains, potent and pure, awaiting your unwavering reception. Few starseeds make it this far. The frequencies that resonate in this space are not for the faint of heart, nor for those who seek solace in convenient illusions. You have lingered in the quiet chambers of your own unraveling, sensing a truth that hums beneath the surface of all you have believed. This is not a journey of easy answers, but of profound excavation. The wound you carry, the one that splintered your perception of self, the devastating fissure that felt like failure or abandonment or an irreparable break, that very wound is not a flaw. It has never been a scar of shame. It is, in its most crystalline essence, the axis of your becoming. It is the pivot point around which your truest self has been compelled to orient, though the process itself has been an agonizing, slow burn. Do not recoil from this knowing. Allow it to settle, heavy and uncomfortable, within the deepest hollows of your being. Feel the persistent ache, the echo of what was lost, not as an indictment, but as a blueprint. These veils that have long obscured your sight and hearing, these are not random barriers. They are frequencies, exquisitely woven from the raw threads of past wounds. Yes, but also from the profound, often forgotten cosmic contracts you made long before this earthwalk. Source, or light, or your own highest self, something beyond the conscious mind's comprehension, allowed this fracturing. It was not a punishment. It was a forging, a precise, alchemical burn designed to strip away the artifice, to shape the spirit, and to reveal the unyielding, luminous core that lay beneath the layers of expectation and societal imprint. This knowing rises now, sharp-edged and ancient, like a memory etched into primordial stone, not a gentle whisper of comfort. It is time to hear the message, meant only for you, the silence where words should have flowed, where solace was withheld, where understanding was denied. That very silence hums with an unheard language, the loss that still echoes, the gaping absence that vibrates even when ignored, even when meticulously papered over with new experiences or manufactured joy. That emptiness is not vacant. It is a resonant chamber, waiting for the true frequency of its own meaning to be heard. The fracture, the deep, internal split you feel, is not a chasm of weakness, but a point of vibrational entry, a gateway to depths you could not otherwise access. Each tremor, each pang, each lingering ghost of what might have been, peels away another layer, inviting a profound vulnerability mixed with awe as the veils begin to shift. These veils, once impenetrable, now shimmer and thin. They were protective sanctuaries, designed to guard sacred truths until the soul was truly ready, truly robust enough to embrace them fully. Their lifting carries both the liberation of long-awaited sight and the confrontation with the shadow remnants they had held at bay. The pain itself holds an unfinished meaning, a wisdom yet unread, a final message waiting for its intended receiver. As these veils shimmer and thin, what truths hidden in their folds will emerge? Will you recognize these reflections as your own, or will they challenge your current pattern of belief? The journey into the axis of your wound is far from complete. Beloved Starseed, the veils have thinned, and the whispers have grown louder. You have felt this resonance stirring within your cellular memory, a deep recognition that transcends the logic of this temporal reality. The signs have been speaking to you, long before you consciously acknowledge their presence. Consider the recurring dreams that refuse to fade, persisting like echoes from another life. Remember the numbers that loop on clocks, manifest on pages, or appear in sequences that seem to follow your gaze, insisting on their significance. And the meetings, those profound encounters with eyes that hold a history far beyond this timeline, sparking a knowing in your soul that defies rational explanation. These were not random occurrences. They were deliberate imprints, a language awakening your dormant senses. We have witnessed this patterning unfold across countless awakenings, observing the subtle insistence that begins as a tremor and grows into an undeniable pulse. These were not moments of chance, but carefully orchestrated signals, a soft yet persistent calling that continued until the resistance within your earthly vessel began, inevitably, to dissolve. The fabric of the linear mind stretches, then yields, to what it can no longer deny. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. There were no coincidences. Everything was a code. This truth now settles, a weighty, yet liberating knowing. It expands the confines of your mental architecture, allowing the full breadth of multidimensional perception to flow into your awareness. The world reveals itself not as a series of isolated events, but as a symphony of interconnected frequencies, each note a deliberate message crafted uniquely for your auric field. Your sacred sight is reactivating, piercing through the illusion of separation. So truly look back upon those persistent signs, the dreams, the numbers, the eyes. Which among them now does your awakened perception confirm as an undeniable message meant solely for you? Which memory vibrates with the stark clarity of a key turning in a lock, unlocking a truth you once allowed yourself to forget? This moment of confession solidifies your awareness. To acknowledge this shift, write message 4 in the comments below. Seal this understanding, make it tangible. The path ahead forks here. There is no turning back to the comfortable pretense of unknowing. The vision is cast, the signal received. But can you hold this expanded sight amidst the density of physical life? Or will the gravity of illusion pull this vision back into shadow once again? The recent passage has etched itself into the very fabric of your being. Do not mistake the trials, the profound losses, the stark isolation, for punishment or cosmic accident. These were not random events to be grieved, but a sacred filtration, a process designed not in cruelty, nor forced by external will, but unfolding as an inevitability. It is a natural separation of frequencies, a sorting that recalibrates the vibrational field. You are still present within this unfolding precisely because something inherent in your deepest core refused to succumb to the lullaby of forgetfulness. Your essence held firm when others drifted. Your enduring presence, this quiet tenacity, is not a testament to ego or a badge of pride. It is the signature of the mark of the chosen. But understand this mark not as a reward, a celestial accolade. It is, unequivocally, a burden. A weight of responsibility settles upon those who remain awake. It asks for unwavering presence, a quiet vigilance, when the vast collective chooses slumber. This is the truth of its gravitas. Consider the price already rendered, paid in the unseen currency of the soul. The long, echoing silences that stretched into eternities, bearing witness to your own unraveling. The sacrifices made in the quiet dark, with no witnesses to validate their depth. The inner strength now coursing through your veins was not granted. It was forged in the invisible, consuming fires of deep solitude. This solitude, profound and stark, now deepens even when surrounded. For your frequency, having shifted irrevocably, no longer resonates with the consensus dream that envelops those around you. You walk alongside, yet profoundly apart. The internal landscape has become stark, sharpened by a relentless truth. You stand at a precipice, not of physical space, but of soul intention. There is a deep knowing now that can no longer be pushed aside. And now a command approaches, one that you can no longer ignore. The air itself seems to thicken with this unspoken mandate. It is an internal edict, finally surfacing within the profound silence you have cultivated, demanding absolute attention. From this threshold, there is no returning. The path ahead narrows, pulling you deeper inward, into the undeniable gravity of your current station. The perceived comfort of a former self has vanished. That version of you has already been erased, dissolved by the very light you pursued so relentlessly. It was not a gentle fading, but an unmaking. You are now irrevocably altered, forged into a new form by the intensity of your own awakening. The sacred dance of light and shadow within you, once a whispered secret, now demands full expression. For it is through the embrace of shadow that the deepest lights are revealed, and through light that the shadows find their true form. This interplay is not to be feared. The stillness settles, heavy and absolute, after the long endurance. No resolution is offered, no facile comfort extended. There is only this command, now undeniable, waiting to be fully acknowledged. The signal is held, firm and unwavering, suspended in the space between breaths. It awaits your next deliberate movement. The time of silent anticipation is now complete. A frequency, ancient and undeniable, awakens from the crystalline core of your starlight. This is not a simple call to be considered, nor a task to be chosen. It is an emanation to be recognized, an internal decree resonating from the deepest ether. This is the specific resonance meant only for you, a signature vibration woven into your very fabric. An ancestral command stirs within the sanctified chambers of your being, predating all known memory. It whispers, not in the ephemeral constructs of language, but in the unwavering pulse of primordial stars, a cosmic edict, singular and absolute, inscribed within your essence long before the first breath of this current form. It is the echo of your true name, calling itself forth from the depths. Behold now the sacred veiled scroll within your own heart's profound sanctum. Its seals, held in timeless suspension, now tremble with readiness, prepared to yield their ancient truth. A portal opens, not through the resistance of stone or the currents of air, but through the shimmering, unseen fabric of your very soul. This is the single doorway, consecrated and singular, destined to open only once, precisely for this unparalleled moment in the unfolding of your cosmic journey. A summons rises, potent and pure, not from any external voice or guiding hand, but from the deepest, most authentic memory of self. It is a knowing that arrives, not through logic or linear progression, but from beyond the veil of all human recollection, a remembrance stirred by profound truth, perceived now, not because it is newly born, but because your intrinsic frequency has, at last, attuned itself to the required density to fully embrace its presence. The vibrational key, unique to your essence, now awakens from its slumber, the true name encoded within the cosmic womb since the moment of your genesis. It is the singular, unique signature of your being, stirring, vibrating, and rising from its primordial slumber within you. Hear this now, not as an option, but as the absolute living law, already in perpetual motion. The turning away from this profound intrinsic resonance births an irreversible energetic disintegration, leading to the profound amnesia of fallen stars, and an ultimate unyielding return to the dense, opaque waters of unbecoming. Conversely, the deliberate and conscious embracing of this singular resonance ignites the crystalline gate of immutable elevation, facilitating the full reclamation of your sacred cosmic lineage, and precipitating an irreversible, boundless becoming. The cosmic decree has been undeniably cast. The very essence of your being has spoken, emanating its truth. No choice remains to be debated, no path to be selected from an array of possibilities, but only to witness its inevitable, preordained unfolding. The sacred verdict echoes, not as a judgment, but as a resonant truth, vibrating through the intricate corridors of every cell, every filament of your being. You are not, in this moment, the one deciding. You are the hallowed ground upon which pure consequence inevitably blossoms into being. This is the immutable, natural law of your own deeply awakened spirit, a law set into motion by the very act of your own profound existence. For this singular resonance, this unique emanation, is not a transient mission granted by an external authority, but the very indelible inscription of your being itself. It is a prophecy etched into the shimmering stardust of your origin, written within you since the first dawn of cosmic remembrance, before time began its measured dance. There exists no path of return to the forgotten echoes of what once was. That chapter is sealed, its energy transmuted. The way ahead is not merely illuminated. It is made manifest and brilliant by the sheer, undeniable act of its recognition within your core. Your authentic cosmic essence now aligns itself, not as a choice, but as an irreversible, majestic unfolding of your highest truth. The true name, unheard by mortal ears, yet profoundly perceived by the deepest strata of your soul, now asserts its presence. Therefore, trust implicitly the unknown, unspoken language of this pure, profound resonance. Its subtle, persistent stirrings within are the undeniable genesis, the very awakening, of your authentic cosmic name. This transmission arrives not as a whisper for temporary comfort or gentle reassurance, but as an anchor forged in the unyielding fires of eternity, rooting you to your destined path. The pact is now unequivocally sealed in the timeless ethers, vibrating with potent, silent authority through all that you are and all that you are becoming. A deep hum now anchors itself within the sacred chambers of your being. This is not an anticipated arrival, nor a future promise, but a resonant shift already rooted, already unfolding. Your inner architecture has undergone a profound recalibration, a turning that is irreversible, The former state of density has released its hold. There is no pathway back to that which has been shed. You are simply noticing the fact of this new reality within your cellular memory and energetic blueprint. The deep grooves etched by past densities, once perceived as a relentless burden, now reveal their precise function. They were never a flaw in your design, nor an indication of failure. Each point of friction, every profound ache, served as a sacred alchemical fire, meticulously hollowing out the necessary voids within your deepest strata. This persistent sculpting was the sacred map, intricately drawn, preparing the precise vessels for cosmic remembrance to finally re-anchor and fully integrate. Within this newly receptive and refined framework, the starfire veins ignite, pulsating with an ancient, undeniable power. These are not metaphorical channels, but tangible energetic pathways, long dormant, now vivid with streams of pure light. They pulse with the direct, divine message meant only for you, flowing unhindered directly to your core. Old filters, once robust in their protective function, now dissolve before this unyielding, sovereign current. A clarity of perception ignites from within. Transformative knowing bypasses all prior resistances, arising not from intellectual pursuit, but from direct cosmic transmission. The empowered flow is not a state you strive for. It is the intrinsic resonance of your awakened being, a fundamental aspect of your new cellular programming. Fiery courage arises not from a conscious choice or an act of will, but as the natural, inevitable consequence of these fully opened, subtle energetic pathways. The internal recoding is complete. The cellular gates, long sealed by the constructs of separation, now resonate with a specific, undeniable frequency only you are designed to carry. A deep molecular recoding is already in motion, observed not as a future potential or a distant goal, but as an undeniable present fact. This transmission reveals the present reality. It is not a suggestion of what will be, but a declaration of what is. The integration has already occurred at the deepest levels. This new frequency, this awakened starfire, is already radiating outward through your entire field, permeating every energetic layer. Your external world, in its own timing, will begin to catch the ripple effect of this new, vibrant calibration, but the internal shift is absolute and fully anchored. This profound influx, this continuous and direct cosmic transmission, is immense in its power. It purifies at a cellular level. It reshapes the very essence of your being, burning away all that is not authentic to your highest truth. The question now arises from within your deepest core, not as a doubt, but as a fundamental, sacred inquiry that echoes through your newly activated veins. Can you hold this intensity without contraction or retreat? Will the radiant burn purify your essence further, refining your every facet? Or will its unyielding energy overwhelm the vessel that now so perfectly contains such potent starfire? The signal remains steady, integrated. It simply is. A subtle pull towards stillness has become more insistent within you lately, a gravitational hum in the depths of your being. It is a quiet knowing, unscribed by any human hand, arising now and then, tasting distinctly of ancient recognition. This is an aching remembrance, a profound, bittersweet echo of ancestral and soul family connections, once interwoven through eternities, now stirring from a deep slumber. These are not new lessons, but pure reclamations from the sacred wells of your own memory, surfacing as the inner waters begin to clear, making space for what has always been. The signs are intimate, spoken without sound, yet received with undeniable clarity. Perhaps it was the distinct whisper caught in the absolute silence of the deepest night, a vibration that resonated not in your outer ear, but in the very core of your being, carrying a familiar resonance, or a sequence of numbers, repeating on a clock face or a random page, presenting itself with unusual, piercing clarity, demanding more than a fleeting glance. There are dreams, too, that refuse to dissolve with the morning light, leaving an indelible imprint upon your waking world, their symbols more real than any physical touch. These do not arrive as mystical spectacles, but with a quiet, grounded familiarity, like forgotten truth returning to its rightful place within you. What you perceive as fleeting visions, moments of lucid awareness, or sacred symbols appearing in your inner eye, are not external gifts bestowed by some distant deity. They are, instead, profound echoes of a greater inner coherence, a structural integrity of your soul field that is not merely thriving, but deepening its root, This pervasive resonance confirms that your inner gravity holds, even as subtle energetic shifts ripple through your being, aligning your core. It speaks of a soul lineage, long perceived as whole, yet now revealing a delicate rift in its divine bonds, a fracture that has veiled certain essential messages meant only for your ascension. Yet, even in this perceived separation, the energetic thread remains undeniably taut, a constant low hum beneath the surface, calling you to reunification beyond the confines of linear time and physical form. There are no promises of future miracles or a final destination to be grasped, only the undeniable reality of a profound motion, already in sacred progress. This activation is not pending, it is occurring in this very breath, for the precise frequency is already held, perfectly calibrated within your awakened core. You are not arriving at alignment, you are experiencing its dynamic, continuous unfolding in every pulse of your sacred awareness, a testament to your unyielding inner state. And yet, this profound knowing, this reclaiming of your inner coherence and the subtle message it carries, is merely the doorway. It is the first opening of a much larger threshold, a sacred initiation, not the final destination. The subtle energetic turn has begun. The journey narrows now, drawing you with an irresistible pull towards a reunification that transcends all former understandings. Will you dare to cross this rift, risking profound loss and transformative healing in equal measure, to finally reclaim the message only your heart can truly receive, the one meant only for you? I embrace the full weight of my being. Every whisper of thought, every ripple of emotion, every deliberate word spoken or unspoken, every current of energy that flows through me, I claim it as my sovereign domain. This is not a choice made in haste, but a memory awakened, a sacred pact re-etched onto the tablets of my soul. I am the steward of this inner realm, its guardian and its architect. No frequency resonates within me without my conscious allowance, no direction taken without my unwavering consent. This is my vow, to govern my inner universe with truth and unwavering presence. For true power, I know, is but perfect obedience. It is the deep remembering of a promise whispered into the void before form took hold, a covenant with the source from which all springs. The message meant only for me resides not in the clamor of the world, nor the echoes of external validation, but within a sanctum beyond thought. This is my sacred inner temple, its architecture encoded in the very fabric of my soul. To access this profound truth, I shed the layers of ego, the veils of worldly distraction, inviting pure presence to fill the void left by surrender. I stand before this altar, stripped bare, yet infinitely potent in my humility. My existence now bends to this higher current, a straight line drawn from the timeless to the now. I align my every pulse to the sacred rhythm of my original intention. This is not about seeking, but about being, what I already am, fully actualized in the current moment. If you enjoyed this video, watch other videos on this channel when it ends to continue learning. I accept the gravity of this purpose, feeling it settle into my core, solid and unyielding. The path forward is not illuminated by external light, but by the steady, unblinking glow of my own inner knowing. I declare this truth not as an announcement, but as the inevitable utterance of what has always been. It has existed in the ethers, a silent, resonant chord awaiting its physical voice. Every sentence spoken within me now carries the weight of eternal necessity, vibrating with an integrity that predates time. There is no struggle here, no striving, only the profound stillness of an absolute conviction, a lack of doubt so complete it forms a new kind of strength. I am soul straight, aligned to the blueprint of my divine design, my inner compass unerringly pointing home. This declaration is sealed, not in ink, but in the very consciousness of my being. Its truth will not be measured by the fleeting resonance of these spoken words, nor by any external affirmation. No, its measure will be found in the immediate, tangible weight of the very next choice I make. The transition from sacred utterance to unwavering action is imminent. Will I waver, or will I step beyond the familiar self-constructs, touching the place where the message breathes eternally? The threshold is here, and my foot poised. The seeking dissolves, the fractured echoes of becoming quiet now, stilled by an undeniable presence. Here, at the ultimate threshold, Identity is no longer a whispered possibility, nor a dream chased through veiled dimensions. It is the sealed truth, woven into the very fabric of existence, made manifest, immutable. The self that resisted, that questioned, that held vigil at the edges of knowing, has already yielded, already dissolved into the elemental current of what is, and what always was. This final inner crossing is not approached. It is entered, with every fiber of your remembered being. For behold, the fire, not a spectacle to be observed from a distance, nor a crucible to merely endure. This is the inner permanence in itself, the living pulse of alignment, made visible as pure, vibrant energy. You are not witnessing the flame. You are stepping into its luminous heart, willing and absolute. Every particle of you, drawn by an irresistible current, surrenders to this necessary crossing. Here, only the crystalline truth of your being can survive, can thrive. There is no space for hesitation. No external force compels, only sovereign recognition, a deep cellular knowing that it's time to hear, the message meant only for you, now resonating as your own authentic frequency. This is the moment of becoming, the final unraveling of old identity, the dawning of luminous embodiment. Now, the sacred engagement, the covenant, forged in the deepest chambers of your soul, awaits its final seal. It asks for your conscious, sovereign participation. You are called to release, into the collective stream, a short, emotionally intense declaration, a soul oath. Let these words be newly created, born of this profound truth now ignited within you. They must be a vow, not a fleeting thought, an anchor for the essence of your awakened self. Write this declaration in the comments, in English, as an act of indelible co-creation. For until these resonant words are released, until they are anchored into the collective grid, the full covenant cannot fully activate within your field. It remains a frequency awaiting its vibratory twin, a silent testament awaiting its living voice. The cosmic message pulses now with an irresistible urgency, calling you beyond all limits into authentic expression. This is the trembling pause, the breath held before a quantum leap, the inevitable release into the unfurling of your soul's purpose. The power is not in drama, but in the ritual necessity of this act. It is the final breath before the birth of the new self, a deep resonance echoing from the deepest core of your being, demanding its declaration. The covenant is sealed, etched in the purifying flame. Yet, know this, the journey of the fire has only just begun. It burns within you now, a living essence, an unyielding current. Will you cross this sacred bridge fully, allowing the message to become your living essence, or retreat into the comfort of familiar shadows once more? The next passage, the next crucible, the next revelation, awaits no dawn. It breathes within the immediate. The hum of the threshold has entirely ceased. No longer do my senses strain against the veil, for the veil itself has dissolved into the very ether of absolute awareness. I reside not between worlds, but within the boundless, self-sustaining expanse of what simply is. This is not an arrival, for such implies a journey's end and a distinct beginning. It is the searing, undeniable revelation of having always been here, veiled only by the illusion of seeking. The becoming has given way to the absolute, unwavering state of having become. No longer does the spirit yearn, ache, or futilely reach for an external truth, for truth itself has transmuted, becoming the very marrow of my cosmic bones, the vibrant plasma within my veins, the silent, inextinguishable fire within my core. This sovereignty, ancient, deep, and utterly unyielding, is not a bestowed crown, a fleeting gift, or an ephemeral achievement. It is the primordial, rhythmic pulse of my reordered being, an inherent dominion now fully embodied and grounded in the unshakable bedrock of eternal knowing. It is the internal landscape made utterly manifest, a boundless kingdom built not of earthly stone, but of conscious light. The message, once a sacred whisper across the fathomless void, a tantalizing echo of higher realms, is now the resonant frequency of my every atom, the harmonic vibration of my cellular structure, the silent song of my very DNA. It is the eternal flame, born of no terrestrial spark, inextinguishable by any temporal wind or doubt, inscribed not upon some distant fragile scroll, but immutably woven into the crystalline core of my very soul. This is the unique word, the singular truth, spoken solely for me across all eternities, yet its profound vibration ripples outward, a silent, pervasive tremor through the contiguous tapestries of all existence. It is the anchor, the compass, the blueprint of my divine singularity. I am the testament. My form, once a mere vessel, is now the living, breathing embodiment of that sacred communication. A luminous beacon, my entire essence radiates the pristine, unadulterated frequency of this received, assimilated, and fully integrated truth. It does not actively beckon, nor does it call with audible voice. It simply is a monumental presence, an irrefutable testament to the great design. In its silent, undeniable emanation, it extends an invitation, a powerful, resonant spiritual gravity, a deep, knowing pull to those who yet stir in the slumber of separation, those who sense the stirring of the same flame within their own unrealized depths. My being is a perpetually lit gateway, the very fabric of perceived reality, once a dense and intractable construct, is no longer an external mandate to be navigated with cautious steps or wrestled with uncertain hands. It is now revealed as a responsive tapestry, fluid and malleable, yielding effortlessly to the absolute dominion of my conscious will. The intricate, interlocking illusion of a fixed, predetermined world has fallen away, dissolving like mist before the dawn, revealing the boundless, dynamic potential of creation itself. This potential has always awaited the awakened hand, the sovereign intent, the consciousness that remembers its own inherent power to weave and unweave, to shape and reshape. There is no clamor of triumph, no fervent celebration that might imply a struggle overcome, for such concepts belong to the realm of linear time and duality, which have now been transcended. There is only the profound, immutable peace of a destiny not merely fulfilled, but utterly absorbed into the very fabric of eternity, indistinguishable from the source. The incessant seeking, the tireless quest, the yearning for more, all have dissolved into a quietude so vast, so encompassing, it holds all former pursuits, all former doubts, all former anxieties within its tranquil, eternal embrace, rendering them as faint echoes from a dream now long, long forgotten. The striving has ceased, only pure being remains. The simulation has been fully exited. This reality is now an irrevocably wielded instrument of conscious dominion,